their hips kind of come back up with our position, and we're going to try to steal. Try to get access to that bottom hip. Man, if we get access to that bottom hip, the one in between them and the mat, it's going to be very difficult for them to move. Very high percentage to take the back after that point. I feel like I should need a little face in. So this hip here, there's two general ways to run it, but what I'm looking to do is right now, there's not a lot of access to this hip. If Mark goes all the way to turtle and makes his elbow overlap his thigh, there's not a lot of access to the hip, but in the transition, there's a gigantic triangle of space. So here there's no access to my hip, but as I'm heating up, there's a gigantic triangle. That disappears when the person makes it to turtle, but if we can get into that triangle as it's happening, it's like one of the easiest ways to take the back. So, look at you back down. So with my knees in this position, my hook won't go in if my knee's below the shoulder line. My foot won't physically make it in. If my knee's too low, the Mark's hips come up. When I go to go, my foot's gonna get banged on the outside of his thigh. This is why I leave this knee up by the shoulder line. Because as I feel Mark's hips go up, I'll do the baseball slide version first. My foot's gonna go directly and find that bottom hip. If I can, I'll grab both. If Mark blocks this one, I'll happily lock my feet, and then I'm gonna get control of the top shoulder. Sometimes you can do seatbelt, but if I have the left hip and the right shoulder, Mark's not going anywhere. If you try to escape this or move, he's froze, and then when I'm ready, I chop second hook, and then when I'm ready, I root the head. If I wanted to, I wouldn't have to go back. Like I'd say it's like a little more lightweight meta if you go up where you would fall back and kind of almost guard on their back. The heavyweight version, or if you just like being like a little more wrestling dominant as you go up, you would kind of follow and place in and then chop, but kind of keep more top position. So it's going to be a little slower. It's not going to get quite as deep, quite as quick, but you're going to keep your weight on their back. So either one's fine. I use both of them. I love this one though. If you're going to go up where I tether to a hand and my foot shoots in and then grab. The other beautiful thing about this position is if Mark changes his mind and he figures out, oh shit, this guy's on my back, I don't want to get up anymore. I want to put my back on the ground. If you put your back to the ground, he runs right into a really smashy crossface underhook. So when I'm in this spot and the guy tries to fall back into me, he's like, his face won't even look at me. Like as he comes, he's gonna run into a shoulder, which will be obstructed already. So again, when my knees are like this, if Mark chose to come back to me, I just drop that weight onto his face with my shoulder, and then already you got him like crunched. And even if I'm here and the guy starts to come up, so I put my foot forward to go in, if the guy suddenly changes his mind, I'm in such a swivelable position, I can change my mind. So, if Mark's hips start to come up, for the one, I start to put my hips down to make my foot go in, but if he changes his mind, I can change my mind. He starts to go up, I start to go down, he changes his mind, puts it back on the ground. I can change my mind really easy. So with my knees in this position, it's just such a versatile spot. He starts to head up, heads up, heads up, heads up. I'm about to put my foot in, he changes his mind. Very easy just to dial back. He goes all the way up. It's not fake this time. Okay, sweet. I got hooks in. If I can, get a seatbelt. If I can't, I'll just control shoulder. If I can, get both hooks. If I can't, I'll lock my feet under his cup. You try to move and get out of this hook. You just got the guy frozen. Pull the shoulder to your chest. When you're ready, chop. And then when you're ready, move the head.